Oh, I love that. I really, really like that. That's Lulu and Paul McCartney, and so many people asked me to play that. I just felt I had to play it again. It's a song called Inside Thing by, of course, Paul McCartney and Lulu. And that's available somewhere, isn't it? I don't have the details. Do you know?
Yes.
Would you tell them?
Very well.
You don't have them at
yes,
hand.
Yes, I do. Well, it's a CD called Together.
Together by Lulu. Oh, that's it, Lulu.
You're talking differently today.
I know.
You're talking like that.
Now, the reason I'm talking like that is
why
because...
are you doing that?
No, I'll tell you why. Because
why?
I was talking to someone this morning with an English accent. What? And I woke up last night. I'm suffering from foreign language syndrome.
You're talking differently.
Yes. It happens to people all the time. As a matter of fact, a gentleman writes to me about that, and he said, I was very interested to hear that some people wake up speaking in a foreign language. It's called foreign accent syndrome, FAS. My wife woke up one morning talking gibberish. She is now the press officer of the Ulster Scots Society. This morning...
That'll go down well.
I'm just reading what the people say here. This morning I woke up walking like an Egyptian. How could a thing like that happen? You know what's what happened to me one time? I don't drink Guinness normally because I can't. I drank 4 pints of Guinness one night on a Saturday night. I woke up the next day wanting the United Ireland. And anyway, I did eat a papyrus sandwich whilst watching Kirsty Walk on Newsline, which made me an Egyptian Scot in the morning. And another thing, friends pointed out that I only walk in profile. I wonder if Geordie could help. During his long tenure as Dr. Dolittle, he must have come across donkeys, goats or stoats that walk in profile. Walking like an Egyptian. And a gentleman writes to me, he said, further to the caller yesterday, see the attached Father Ted-styled Pope protest signs. It's on the BBC News today. As a God-fearing taxpayer, I demand that the Pope returns and ordains Geordie Tuft immediately. I think Geordie should be beatified with a big stick. So, no, that's beaten. Why is he yet to be made the patron saint of felines and the patron saint of Jay's Fluid? There is no patron saint of Jay's Fluid, nor is there any need for one. Some people will rightly think that it is a bizarre combination. If the Pope ever does come to Northern Ireland, he won't need to bring 2 Pope mobiles. I think he'll be fine with one. What about Barney and Fonzie and Patsy sorting them out with a mode of transport? There will be no problems. The electric's bodywork on the engine, and they'll have a running board for the Secret Service boys to stand on and hold on to the rail. You know, with the Pope's blessing boys there. You know, and kissing wains. You know the way they put the wains through the window for him to kiss there? See, Barney would have a rail there for a kind of a wain rail. Or a baby rail, I suppose, for swanky people. We call it a wain rail. Or down in Oma, they call it what do they call it? Cub. A cub rail, aye. A cub rail. In Dublin, they call it a chiseler rail. And Oma, a cub rail. Up here, a wain rail. And everywhere else, a baby rail. See, that'll be good. The Pope will go, mwah, there you are, there's your wain kissed there now. Did you get the photograph of that there? Show it to him with his owl. And he'll be great. Anyway.
Aye,
what are people
you've
listening?
Done quite a hole this morning, I would say.
It's only 20 to 11.
Yeah, no, I think we should move on quickly. My first experience...
Excuse me, you think we should move on quickly?
Of course you're going to smother yourself.
I will not smother
You'll
myself.
You'll be down deeper than those miners.
Never you mind that. There's a lot of jokes about that, but I'm not...
Oh, I wouldn't.
No.
My first experience, call it what you will, of Jay's Fluid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was in one of the little halls where you would have learned to play your guitar.
Name that hall.
In one of the many little halls that you would have learned your
Name
trade.
that hall.
No, this is the wee hall up where we lived. But I remember the men...
Give me the name of the hall.
You were never in it.
Give me the name of the hall.
I remember them. I'm going to tell you the name. I remember the man sweeping the hall, and
the Ashfield Hall.
No, and he would
name it. The corned beef tin.
He would put water, and he would have a bottle of Jay's Fluid and water, and he would walk up and down the hall sprinkling the spray. First of all, it was a bottle of water, right?
You sure it wasn't holy water?
No, a bottle of water, and he would sprinkle it all right, and then he would brush it. And the water was to keep the dust down.
And the Jay's Fluid to keep the germs down.
No, and then he went afterwards with the bottle of water and the Jay's Fluid. And then he would brush that and there was this smell of Jay's Fluid. I think they did that in all the halls.
This is very interesting, Sean. I'm glad you brought that up.
And then they put remember the waxy stuff down for dancing later on at night?
Yeah, yeah. And what they would do, they'd put some kind of petrol thing down there as well. Did you ever know that?
No.
Oh, yes.
What?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Some kind of petrol mix they put down there.
Our little local picture house.
What was it called? You never told
Fairview
it.
Hall.
Well, why didn't you just name it in the first place? I know the Fairview Hall. I've been there often.
You're never in it.
I was in it. How do you know? No, I was never in it. You're right. I was lying. Anderson, it says here. 2 days in a row, your sound levels have suddenly boomed about 5 minutes into the show. This is Ken, of course.
Yeah.
This has resulted in me having to go out of
Ken's
my
grumpy
cosy
today.
student pit. Can't you see I'm talking here?
But Ken's grumpy today.
I know he is, but
He snapped at me.
what did he say?
You know, Ken's got a couple of apprentices now.
I saw them hanging about there, yeah.
He's training a couple of...
He doesn't like training people. It
Locals.
means he can't sit in the corner and do nothing.
And so this morning, you see, he was in the newsroom and he was wrestling with...
One of the girls.
No.
Wrestling with Emma.
One of the printers, you know.
One of the printers?
You know the thing that spews out.
I know what
into
a
the
printer
paper?
is, yeah.
Right? And he was, so I put my head around the corner.
Yeah.
I could see him through the door, and I put my head around the corner. I said, Ken, is that not a job for one of your apprentices? He says, they can't do this sort of work.
That's what
And
it
I
is. He's
thought,
surrounded by mediocrity. 2 days in a row, your sound levels have suddenly boomed out about 5 minutes into the show. This has resulted in me having to get out of my cosy student pit to turn it down. This is a man. There are many people like this, students, who have come back for the new term and realise that it is only September and they don't have to do any work. If they're first years, they don't realise they don't have to do any work until this time, maybe 2 years' time. If they're second years, they realise they might have to do little. See, a lot of students are in bed at the moment. I say good morning to them all, and I'm glad you've all missed your lectures because they're no good to you anyway.
Is this not October?
Not yet. It's the 21st of September, Sean, which is not October yet. Is this some sort of post-Nolan readjustment to normal levels? No. What happens here is, you see, I come down here and I don't do anything, and I proceed as if everything is okay, which it should be, because I'm assured that when I come down here, the studio will be ready for me. It is never ready for me. It's always wrong, so I have to try and adjust as I can. And normally, 5 minutes into the programme, Ken comes in and confuses the whole thing by sabotaging the whole thing. Great excitement in Castle Derg recently as invitations for the flu injection have arrived by mail. Apparently the swine flu there's so many, we have to red out the warehouse, so they're going to give everybody injections anyway. You gotta have one, even though you haven't got
I didn't take the swine flu injection.
Why didn't you take it?
Yeah, I got a phone call from my doctor, and he says...
From your doctor, from your general practitioner?
Someone there, yeah. And
What
says,
did he say?
Can you come down Saturday morning between 10 and 11 for your swine flu injection?
Let me guess what he said. Can you come down between 11 and 12 on Saturday morning for your swine flu injection?
And I says, no, I'm playing golf.
You said golf?
I says, no, can't make it, I'm playing golf.
Do you realise when they find your body in the 19th hole, they say he preferred golf to the injection?
Well,
we have to clear out the garages. So old codgers and indeed codgeresses have been seen buying Lifebuoy soap in preparation for their annual bath. You see, you can't go and get an injection if you're smelly. Numerous pairs of drawers will be changed as the big day draws near. The screams, cries and yells are expected to be on a par, if not greater than those of last year. Some old codgers are practising by sticking pins into their arms and bum cheeks. Painkillers are flying off the supermarket shelves. I'll inform you later as to how the big day went. Remember at school? Remember the days used to inoculate you? Do you know what I remember? Do you remember the one? Do you remember the multi-needle one?
the big 6 needle or something.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
And it left a big... What was that for?
Yeah,
Berry?
We all have that.
The bubonic plague?
Do they
What was
still
that
do
for?
that?
I don't think so, because the children wouldn't stand for it
Dennis
now.
says no.
But come on, there's children in school, they're too busy drinking vodka and smoking. You can't...
Broken
What?
arm. It was like a big broken
It was
arm.
terrible. And here's a complaint. Listen,
was a
by the way,
blister
let's start the
jacket.
programme. Good morning. Welcome to the programme. This is the Gerry Anderson Show. And not, as was suggested yesterday, the Sean Show. Right? The number to ring you. Sean Shaw. Sean Shaw. Sean Shaw. 08459 555 08459. I've been stopped. 08459.
That's the thing to know. I want to talk to you about that privately.
Privately?
Yeah.
Go and talk to me now.
Now, why do people find it objectionable to do a Chinese accent when you can do a Scottish accent, or you can do an American accent, or you can do you do an English accent, but don't you dare do a Chinese accent?
My point precisely.
You know, the people say, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that."
Sean Shaw.
You know what I mean? But
Okay.
you say, Sean, sure.
Yeah, Sean Shaw's all right. Yeah, yes, Sean Shaw's all right. Yes, Sean Shaw. Hey, what about you? Sean Shaw. Not good. I'm not Sean Shaw.
Oh, you do it.
No, Sean Shaw.
But you can't. No. What is that?
I've been told to shut up. I'm not sure. No, you can't gag me.
Not at all.
No.
You're not Stephen.
Right,
You
when
can't
you
be
come to
gagged.
call me Stephen Nolan. Do you remember Stephen used to be fearless? And now he's He's like the rest of them. 08459. Good morning. Welcome to the programme. This is a great, jolly programme that features many calls from the listeners and indeed communications. If you want to communicate with this programme, the number to ring is 08459 555 678. Email address is gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. Text messaging service for those of you who perhaps, well, have reason to be bitter. 81771. Lady writes to me and she said, almost 2 years ago I started a part-time job as a cleaner. I don't mind the job. I'm studying to get a degree. I just hate the way people are so condescending. Now, I must say the people were lovely in my first place, but I was doing such a good job that I was offered a transfer with more hours. I accepted the offer to work more hours. What a change. For 3 months now, I've been tolerating people coming into work. I made a point of looking directly at them and saying, good morning. Because normally, do you know when you're a cleaner, you don't really see the people whose office or whatever you're cleaning. You're usually away at 8 and they're in at 9. But if you're there at 9, they see you coming in and they go, oh, there's a cleaner. I accepted the offer. Well, for 3 months now, I've been tolerating people coming into work. I made the point of looking directly at them, saying, good morning. Very few of them reply, and some have yet to make eye contact with me. This morning I was getting on with my work when I heard a woman shouting, have you seen my glasses anywhere? She was about 30 feet away from me, so it took me a couple of seconds to realise she was talking to me. Have you seen my glasses anywhere? Especially when I looked round and saw all her colleagues looking in my direction. I replied, no, sorry. But it was all I could do to resist from shouting back, I have a name, you know. Try using it if you want to attract my attention. Suffice to say the novelty is wearing off. I'm going to start a business making placards saying, down with this sort of thing.
They don't make them like them anymore. The girls are not the way they were before. They don't do right, they just wanna fight. They don't make them like them anymore. No, they don't make them like them anymore. They make you cry and make you cry some more. They all call you honey, but they spend all your money. They don't make them like them anymore. Like them anymore. They won't even love you like before. One day it's yes, one day it's no. They don't make them like them anymore. They don't make them like them anymore. They don't like the kitchen or the stove. They don't like to cook. They'd rather read a book. They don't make them like them anymore. Like them anymore. The girls are not the way they were before. They don't do right. All they want to do is fight. They don't make them like them anymore. They don't make them like them anymore. They make you cry and make you cry some more. First they call you honey, but they spend all your money. They don't make them like them anymore. They don't make them like them anymore. They don't make them like them anymore.
That's a song you probably haven't heard before. It's called They Don't Make 'Em Like I Like 'Em Anymore from a kind of a Texas country Cajun band in America called Texas Tornadoes. I kind of like them. Right. Will I give a time check? I've given a time check for months.
So.
But you get jealous when I give time checks.
It's a bad old time.
Go, you do it.
No, it's a bad time.
Go on.
No.
Go on. It's coming up to. Go on.
It's too difficult.
It's coming up to.
It's
coming up to.
No, it's not.
Go on. It is. It's coming up to.
No, see, would you say
it's coming up to 8 minutes to 11.
Would you say 8 minutes to 11?
That's it. No, exactly. And I said no. There are times in a man's life, says Adam, when he has to cast off the misdemeanors of the past and face reality. Essentially, what age should men stop wearing earrings?
I'll tell you something. I hate to see children with earrings. babes in arms with an earring. I hate that, so I do.
That's because you're a curmudgeon.
No, I hate that. Yeah, what opinion has a child got? It's vanity with a mother and father. I must get wee Jimmy's ear pierced or little Megan's ear pierced. They take a child and stick a stud in its ear. It's shocking, so it is.
You're very unhappy, aren't you?
No, but I think it's disgraceful.
You don't like life at all, do you?
No, but it's taken away from that child's innocence.
What harm does it do?
It pleases the mother and father. That's all it does. That's all it's for. It's nothing about the child at all. Mother and father. When they get the child tattooed, that'll be the next thing. Put a tattoo in their thighs or something.
There's a lot of anger there, Sean.
Yeah, but I think it's terrible. It's to me, that's just.
I think children should be tattooed from head to foot, and then you can recognise your child when you see it.
But
from a distance.
Big lumps of men with earrings.
Well, this man is. His man's got opinions on it. Calm down. Okay.
Yeah, thank you,
thank
you. I was.
I'll bring in a normal baby and show it to you.
Yes,
it'll make you feel better. What about you and Sean? He says. Did you ever have the gold sleeper through your lugs, with or without the small cross attached? That's for Catholics only. And did you, like the prods, have a thick gold ring in each ear, the thickness of which is normally used on a Charleroi bull? Did you ever consider getting an earring?
No.
Ever consider?
No. Did you have your head? The pain? Inflict pain upon yourself?
I was a proud advocate of the latter, and for many years regularly wore 2 gold earrings, one in each ear, a thick gold ring. I wore it everywhere, work, school, bar mitzvahs. But alas, at the ripe old age of 20, I disbanded them, and my brutish earrings were sent to General de Chastelet, who sliced them with an angle grinder, melted them down into scrap metal, and held them up in a press conference and says, "Peace in our time." The earring, like the replica football shirt and the love bite, I've always felt very sad when I see someone wearing a football shirt.
That's another thing.
You feel like getting up and saying to them, "Listen, there's no need for that." Yeah. But I've always worn my love bites proudly. I have to be honest with you.
Just one more thing, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
I also hate
yes.
Parents who put football jerseys on children, put them into the pram and then proudly push them down the street. Jeepers, I want to go up and strangle those children.
Why don't you strangle them? Go on.
I think I should be allowed to.
Go on, kill people. The earring, like the replica football shirt and the love bite, are items that I felt from the age of 20 I'd grown out of. But around me, there are other homo sapiens, some who've reached and indeed others who've exceeded their 70, 70-year-old men sporting lugs full of full gold, fake gold, Barcelona football shirts with Messi on the back, and the occasional hickey or low-flying golf ball. The nation needs to know earrings. At what age should men remove? Gentlemen, over to you. Discuss. Well, your opinion is that men should never wear earrings at all in the first place. I personally see no harm in them. It's like the DA. That's the only thing I've experienced of. Whenever you walk around today, this is for people of a certain age, and I know our students listening, but this is contemporary history. There was a time in the 50s and the 60s, before the Beatles now, and this is very noticeable here. Before the Beatles made fashionable long hair, men used to grow their hair long at the sides and the back. And remember, they used to put brill cream and put it around in a DA, which we called a duck's arse.
Yeah.
Remember at the back?
Yes.
At the back. And then they had a quiff. They used to call her the kind of a Tony Curtis. Tony Curtis is now 80, but that's not the point. And as bald as a billiard ball.
I never knew it was called a Tony Curtis.
That's because you weren't allowed out.
I never knew that.
It's called a Tony Curtis.
I never knew it had a name.
It had a name, that's what you called it. A pompadour or a quiff.
Cheapers.
You see? And they used to comb it around the back. Now, as time wore on, the hair on top of their head, like mine, I have to say, is beginning to become sparse. Mm-hmm. So you only had the hair around the side. That remains with you. But they still had the duck's arse. And still to this day, you can walk into a pub and see a man sitting there with the top of his head with no hair on it. And a man with, well, I suppose, wrinkled jowls. And a man maybe perhaps approaching 70. And there's still the remnants of the DA. And I always feel like going over and saying to that man, give up.
No, it's the man who ties it then in the ponytail.
Give up, I say.
The ponytail.
I always tell him to give up.
You've produced a lot of anger in me this morning.
It was always there in the first place. I just tapped into it.
Just happy.
You're all right when you come in today.
Yeah.
My bus now, baby.
bus. Keep your feet off the seats, put your buggy by the stairs, put your pig on the floor, then I just won't care, baby. Get your pig on, get
That's
your
a
pig
fine
on.
looking pig you
Get
got
your
there.
pig on my bus now.
Is that from a huckle?
Get your pig
Looks
on.
like the kind of pig
Get
from a
your pig
huckle.
on. Get your pig on my bus now. Ballymena, Ballymoney, Ballycastle, Yellow Man. Get your wee pig up on my rainbow van. A 12-seater busy microbus where everyone's real and no one makes no fuss. Honey, get your pig on, get your pig on.
That really is amazing. That's one of the nicest pigs I've ever seen in my life.
Pig on, get your
Such a
pig on.
fine body on it.
Pig on my
Plenty of
bus
meat
now.
round the
No
truck.
turning to the left, no turning to the right. We're heading down the road, no time to get uptight.
Oh, that's a
I
shame.
don't care what
I
type
wanted
of
to go to
pig you
Dunloy.
are. Orange, green, or pink, we have no color bar, baby. Get your pig on,
near the main
get your
street.
pig on.
Aye,
Get your
that's
pig
grand.
on my bus
I need a wee
now,
prescription from the
baby.
chemist.
Get your pig
This
on,
wee birthday
get
card
your
too
pig
from my
on.
granny. She's
Get your pig
105
on
on
my
Thursday.
bus now,
Sick
honey.
day all her life.
Get your pig on,
5
get
times.
your pig on.
Toy boys.
Get your pig on my bus now,
Very
baby.
happy.
Get your pig on,
Very,
get your pig on.
very
Get
confusing.
your pig on my bus now.
Is that your six-pack
honey.
there?
Get your pig on, get your pig on. Get your pig on my bus now, baby. Get your pig on, oh get your pig on.
Could you help me down with that
Pig on
case?
my
It's
bus
pretty
now.
heavy.
Get your pig on,
Hey, that's
oh
it.
get your
That's
pig
grand.
on.
Thanks very much,
Get
son.
your pig on my bus now, baby. Get your pig on, no get your pig on. Get your
Come
pig
on, come on,
my
hurry up
bus
now, Betsy.
My
Give it one
bus
more big
now.
push.
My
That's it.
bus
Here we
now.
go.
Let's drive.
That's grand. Thank you, driver. That's a nice pig you've got there. Reminds me of the wife's cousin. He was married too.
On 92 to 95 FM,
and 1341 medium wave.
this is BBC Radio Ulster.
And at 11 o'clock, this is the BBC News with Keith Burnside. An application for a judicial review into the closure of the Accident and Emergency Department at the Mid-Ulster Hospital has been refused. The unit was shut in bay, but 70-year-old John Quinn applied for a review of the decision. The High Court judge, Mr Justice Tracy, said Mr Quinn couldn't have reasonably expected the department to stay open when doctors were saying it was unsafe to do so. The leaders of unionism have written to the Irish government objecting to the Republic's electricity supplier buying Northern Ireland electricity. The DUP's Peter Robinson and the Ulster Unionist Sir Reg MP say the £1 billion deal has major political implications. The UUP's Tom Elliott says that since the ESB is owned by the Irish government, the sale poses problems.
What I'm concerned about is that there would be a creation of an imbalance between investment in this utility market, and obviously what we could then have is a total reliance on the Northern Ireland electricity power supply coming wholly from the Irish Republic.
The SDLP's Oban McGuinness, who is chairman of the Assembly's Enterprise Committee, says the deal is a good one and should be left free from political interference.
What's being sold off is the grid. And, we need a tremendous amount of investment in the grid. ESB are prepared to put that investment in. ESB, although it's owned by the Irish government, is independent of the Irish government and operates here anyway under different names. Not only in electricity but also in gas.
A 20-year-old man has been charged with rape, making threats to kill and aggravated assault. It follows an attack in the Lisburn area early on Sunday morning. Official figures show the government borrowed almost £16 billion last month, a record amount for August. That compares with just over £14 billion in the same month last year. It's thought the main reason for the increase was a near trebling of debt interest to just under £4 billion. On to the weather, here's Angie Phillips.
1 or 2 light showers, but for much of the day there'll be a good deal of dry, if not rather cloudy weather, although a few brighter intervals are possible, especially for sheltered parts of Down and Antrim at first, and temperatures will still be above average at between 18 and 20 Celsius. Rain reaches the west later and spreads to all parts tonight, becoming heavy at times.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
In County Tyrone, work is ongoing on the A5 Baltony Road near Omagh. That's from Baltony Grove in Drumlagah Road South, so you can expect delays there. Part of the A44 Drones Road is closed near Armoy from Carrican Road to Grace Hill Road. That's until 6 o'clock this evening. And in Kilkeel, work continues on Bridge Street, reducing traffic to one lane, which will continue from 9:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon each weekday for the next 8 weeks. At Belfast International Airport, the 1:05 EasyJet arrival from Malaga has been delayed until 3 o'clock. Michael Bedwell reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster. Time on Talkback with Wendy Austin. Begging on the streets. It's putting off tourists and scaring children, they say in Dublin. They're considering banning it. Should we too? Eye tests for elderly drivers, curfews for younger motorists. Is anyone left to enjoy happy motoring? Then it's Freshers' Week. Respect yourself, behave yourself, students are told. But are you missing your own students already? And skirt wars in our schools. Have the hemlines gone too high? When's a mini too short? What do you think? Love 'em or hate 'em? Join me and join the debate on Talkback at 12.
How short is your skirt? How high is your hem? It's 4 minutes past 11 o'clock. I played a track before the news, which was called Get Your Pig On. It's from a new album by Stephen Hall. It's called, the album is called Songs from the Moonshed. It's been launched this Thursday night in the Black Box in Belfast. And if you want to go along, the tickets are free. I'll be there myself because I wouldn't miss that. It's www.theweebear, TheWeebear at hotmail.com. That's theweebear at hotmail.com. If you log on there, you get a couple of tickets free. The new album is it's available with Bert McCormick. Where is he? Ballyclare, Ballycastle?
I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you.
I never know that. It's all the same to me, you see. Is it let me guess. Ballycastle? Is it? Is that right?
I'm not telling you, but you're
Go
wrong.
and tell me.
No, I'm not telling you, but
It's
you're
Ballyclare
wrong.
then?
Yes.
Why do I never know? I can't remember. And anyway, it's a great album. See, I talked about this before, and I don't want to be a bore about it, but a lot of people, I think, have given Ulster Scots a bad name by politicising it and by actually exposing it as being something ridiculous. But it's not something ridiculous. It's a very, very, very valuable dialect, and it's the voice of a people who've done wonderful things. And I think Stephen Hall is the first guy who's ever captured the proper spirit of it. And the album is a combination of songs, his own songs, and poetry. This is a bit of a poem. I like this. Have a listen to this. This is called The Long Stain. I like this a lot. Hold on a minute. No, I've dialed on the wrong thing here. Sorry about that. Just a second. Sometimes Ken comes in here and confuses me when I'm not doing anything. It doesn't actually. I just said that. I just...
Long stony face, long gang out of yon place. King James, oh hear the Scots, let us bide a while, then send us o'er the golden mile, the causey stones the robbers' way, the bigger lap and big at the bridge, so here we danced and came to stay. The long stain, long stony face, still standing, still, though all of us displaced off dale and hill. Where to go to feed the chuckies? Where to stand? Our boots are mucky, all set to farming in the fields, or in the hills black nebs named, nae yield. Poor old buggers still on the game to just survive. Long stain, long stony face, learn to ply and learn to sew. Robbing less we built our homes, a barn, a tower, a wall, a fence, a ditch, a shield, set for defence. Few of us have leaders now, all a one and nae to buy. Individual folk we be, ne'er used to e'er bend the knee, ne'er to worship any throne, except for one, to him alone. We look to him, nae bag nor car, nae riches need, but who we are. For all our riches are all at home, the wife and babbies and friendship song, to sing and play the jig and reel, a warm place, a muckle creel. So many came as exiles, so many came in chains, nae body will ever harness us, we don't work well in long rains. We'll plough the ground and work for you, we'll work both night and day, for all we ever seek from you is a fair day's work for a fair day's pay. But never think we worship you, for our calling is much deeper. It flows down through our bedrock as we wake or as a sleeper. Nay, politician, king or man will lead us all like donkeys. This guff is just no meaning, boy, and me, I couldn't give a monkey's. This lang stain, still standing, still, throws nae saddle shadow o'er me. It marks the sun, the moon and stars. This means that I am free. So culture vultures listen long, listen long and hard. An Ulster Scots a hybrid, nae dull a lump of lard. A shiny dapple thing, a mongrel through and through. It is our deep held strength, you know. Where there's brass, there's always poo. So bridle up your dull-eyed gaze and lead it up the Roddens. I am proud of who I am, a mix of pins and bobbins. Not one flag will do me. You can throw them in the bin. Not one party show me could get me ere to swim. I'll keep my wee feet on dry land. I'll stand by this here stain that was raised long before me, and by the long stain I will remain. Cheerio now.
Summer getting warmer, tidal wave come across the Mexican border. Wide back gallon is cheaper by the barrel, just don't get busted singing Christmas carols. That's us, that's right, gotta love this American ride. Both ends of the ozone burning, funny how the world keeps turning. Look, Mom, no hands, I love this American American ride. Mama gets her rocks off, watching Desperate Housewife. Daddy works his ass off, paying for the good life. Kids on the YouTube learning how to be cool. Living in a cruel world pays to be a mean girl. That's us, that's right. Gotta love this American ride. Both ends of the ozone burning. Funny how the world keeps turning. Look, Mom, no hands. I love this American ride. Gotta love this American ride. Oh, little infamous America's town. She gained 5 pounds and lost her crown. Quick fix, plastic, surgical antidotes. Got herself a record deal, can't even sing a note. Plasma getting bigger, Jesus getting smaller. Spill a cup of coffee, make $1 million. Customs caught a thug with an aerosol can. If gonna hit the shan. That's us, that's right. Gotta love this American ride. Both ends of the ozone burning. Funny how the world keeps turning. Hot dog, hot damn. I love this American ride. Gotta love this American ride. Oh yeah.
What a great sound. That's Toby Keith. That's the title track of his album, which is called American Ride, which was out late last year. And before that was a song called The Lang Stane, which loosely translated means The Long Stone. And that's from an album by Stephen Hall. It's called The Songs from the Moonshed, which is not readily available yet. It's been launched on Thursday night in the Black Box in Belfast. You can go along there free of charge if you like, if you go to the website, The Wee Bear, TheWeeBear at hotmail.com. And if you're there, you can buy me a drink. Excuse me, can't you hear I'm talking here? Can't you hear I'm talking here?
Excuse me.
I'm talking here. I'm talking here. I'm talking here. What's that? What movie is that from?
The man, the taxi.
I'm talking here.
I'm walking.
Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah. Excuse me, we didn't realise.
Dustin Hoffman, John Voight.
We did.
Justin Hoffman's walking across the street in
Yes,
New York.
yes.
And he's talking to John Voight. The taxi drivers are beeping a horn at him. And he goes over to the taxi and he batters the punk and says, I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
Well, we were talking here. And you put on...
But I was talking too.
Yeah, but you put on our mic.
I know.
I was talking to Janet.
No, the point is I wanted to communicate with you and I suddenly realised that neither of you are listening.
Janet is
That's
looking
the
for
point.
an apartment.
You should... Is she? She left her husband.
No, she's not left her husband for a holiday apartment.
Oh, sorry.
And I was recommending one or two places.
I thought you'd stormed out.
No.
What do you recommend? Boy, you don't know all that many priests.
You went funny today.
How many priests do you know with holiday homes in Florida? 8, 9, 10, is it?
So
and they all seem
There's a
to...
call
They always
for
seem
you
to
in
make
one.
their acquaintance. Oh, here's Father John. He's an apartment in... Oh, he has a house in Key West. Oh, he's a lovely man. He does me there often, so sometimes I go over myself.
That's, by the way, that's the same house that you were looking for a few years ago.
He wouldn't give it to me because I didn't say the right things to him. Anyway, you know all the right things to say. Father, 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 Father. Father. Janet's looking for the... Where is she looking for one? In Cuba?
I'm not telling you.
Cuba? Where?
No, it's private.
It's private. Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you people. You know, I'm just here talking, and I hope I don't interrupt you in any way. Why don't you turn the sound down, and then you wouldn't hear me at all? There would be no need for me to interrupt your private conversations, after all. Oh, what is this you're doing? Oh, this is where you work, isn't it? Oh, I forgot about that, yes. Oh, you come in here to this
have a
programme.
system in
Oh, you're
here.
paid to help me. Oh,
We have a system.
I should have reminded you earlier. Why didn't you listen to a programme and it can help me instead of trying to get Janet's apartment? Just because she left her husband doesn't mean to say she'd get you involved. He'd be up looking, he'd beat you up.
No.
He will.
Well, we have a wee system in here. When two are out, one is in. We call two out.
You'll have to explain that to me.
It means there's three of us in here, you see.
I know there's 3 of you in there.
Right? So we said to... Janet and I said...
Oh, only one listens at any given time?
Yes, we said to Emma...
Emma drew the short straw,
we're
did she?
taking two out. So me and
So
Janet...
you said, Emma, you have
dropped
to
out of
listen to the programme today whilst we talk.
Emma was listening, and Emma put a call through, so we were happy so Janet and I could talk. 2 out, 1 in. See, it's so simple. Now all 3 are listening. So it's great. And now Emma says there's a man on 1. Do what? Oh, it's a lady on 1.
That's how closely she's paying attention. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning. Sorry I had to put you through this.
Hi, Gerry.
How are you?
Hi, Sean, the girls.
They don't speak.
I was just speaking to Emma. She's a very nice girl.
Are you speaking through your husband?
Sorry?
Are you speaking for yourself or are you speaking through your husband?
What do you mean?
Janet is speaking through her husband looking for an apartment.
I don't need to speak through my husband. I can speak for myself.
All right. Okay, then go ahead. What can we do for you? Oh, sorry, I'm assuming you have a husband. Sorry,
Yes,
go
I
ahead.
do.
That's good. Okay,
A
thank you.
darling man he is too.
Is he an old puke, is he?
No, he's not. He's gorgeous.
Is he really? You mustn't
Yes.
be married long.
Yes, I'm married 31 years this year.
And you still think he's gorgeous?
Yes, I do.
Well, does he live somewhere else?
No. Sometimes
Is that
he
him?
looks, he did. No, that's my son, Darren, in the background, and this is why I wanted to phone you.
Okay, go ahead.
Darren is disabled. He's
Yes.
17 tomorrow, actually.
Yes, yes.
And what we're looking for is, do you know the big collapsible buggies, like the big McLaren buggy? But it's for a disabled child.
Yes, yes.
And we've been trying to get one, a used one, and we can't get one anywhere. And we were wondering if anybody out there had one that could sell us.
Yes, okay.
It would be brilliant.
Can you not get one of those through the health service, that kind of
Well,
thing?
you get big wheelchairs,
You don't want that?
and the big wheelchair, it's getting it in and out of the car, no quick, especially when he's very ill.
Of course, yeah.
So we lift him in and out of the car and then have to put up all the big wheelchair and all this. So I was wanting to buy a wee sort of collapsible one that would you get up and down fast, yeah.
I've seen those, actually. I've seen they're very, very, very good. I seen a friend of mine using one of those there the other day, and it's only a matter of like 10 seconds to get the whole thing organised.
Right. That's right, yeah.
Well, I'm sure, I tell you, it'd be a shame if you had to pay for one of those. I'm sure...
Well, I don't mind paying for it.
I know, but it's a shame that you have to.
If there's a used one out there, I would buy it off someone, and they get the money and I get the chair, so everybody's happy.
But it seems a shame that you have to pay for something that's essential as that. All right, then. So let's so people know it's a collapsible wheelchair that's easily packed into a car, that kind of thing.
Yeah, perfect. Yes, that's
all right. If anyone out there has one, or maybe has one that they haven't used for a while, or maybe someone used it and doesn't use it anymore, or whatever, give us a ring here, and I'm sure I'd be very surprised if you had to pay for it. And
I don't mind paying for it. You know, Mr. Darn.
I understand.
And he's not big. I mean, he's only 6 stone, 5.5 stone. So he's not big or anything like that. So it wouldn't have to be a big giant thing.
All right then. We'll try and get that for you. Do you have any other children?
I do. I have 3 other children actually. I have a daughter. She's an artist. I have a son who's a musician. And I keep saying to him, I'm going to send some of his stuff into you, Gerry, actually.
Oh, why don't you?
I would love to do that. So.
Well, please do. I can't guarantee anything, but I'll guarantee that I'll listen to it.
And I have the other son who's just started a placement with the BBC.
Oh, don't let him do that. He'll end up like Stephen Nolan, fat and horrible.
And he might see you actually on Friday, Gerry, because you're down every Friday.
Yes.
He's in Radio Ulster for a couple of weeks, and then he's going on to do different things.
Tell him to come up and say hello.
I will indeed, Gerry.
No, seriously.
Actually, he did an interview with you for the history thing last week or something.
Did he down in perhaps in the museum, Ulster Museum?
And he did an interview with you.
Yes.
Mark, you call him.
Well, I wouldn't remember that, but I remember talking to a couple of people down there. He was one of them.
And when he came back and said to us that he was interviewing Gerry, we said, did you not tell him we listen to him every day? He said,
listen,
no, he was too shy.
Tell him to come up and work on the programme, because I am having difficulty finding people to work on the programme who are listening to it while it's on.
No way.
Okay.
They're brilliant, so they are, Gerry. Sean, love you.
Yeah, did you hear that?
Oh, that was nice. Yeah, thank you for letting me know.
But I mean, let's remind the people out there, anyone out there who's got a collapsible wheelchair for Darren, that would be, something that handy, fold up quickly, lightweight, hopefully. Preferably. Anyone who's got one of those, you're prepared to pay for it, but, I'd be annoyed if you had to. So anyone out there can help us at all, give us a ring, 08459 555 678. We'll get you one of those, I would say, before 12 o'clock.
Gerry, thanks very much. And we absolutely are faithful to your programme every single day.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you.
It really cheers us up.
Thank you. Tell that fella to get out of the BBC right away before he's corrupted. Before he'll end up like the rest of them. All right, then. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much,
Bye.
Gerry.
Bye.
Patsy's on too.
Hello, Patsy.
Hello, Gerry. How are you this morning?
I'm all right, thanks. I've got foreign accent syndrome.
Yes, I've noticed that.
I don't know what it is. I'll be okay tomorrow.
No, you'll be all right. You get over it.
Well,
I was just saying, Tama, there, I was watching Brainbox last night.
Oh!
Yes, and it was animals with the letter T. So by the time I switched over, the first one was elephant, then tiger, then cat. So your lady's waiting on the next phone call, which takes a long time to come, and it's Margaret from Belfast. Margaret, an animal with the letter T, trout. So I expected the buzzer to go, but believe it or not, it was on the board. That's the truth, Gerry.
Trout is an animal, and it's on the board.
It's an animal.
Well, I've always said it's a great educational tool for the children, and I think children should be kept up at night, even though matchsticks have to be used to keep their eyes open, so they watch Brainbox so they can learn how to make money.
She couldn't even spell it. It was T-O-U-R. She hadn't a clue how to spell.
That's tart!
Trout.
That's trout.
And then the next one was Torter, and it was T-U-O-R. She couldn't spell that either.
Tortle, T-O-R-T-L-E.
But she couldn't spell it. So I just thought I'd let you know.
Oh, it's a wonderful aid to our education system.
Isn't it just great?
How did we ever do without it?
I don't know.
It almost seems as if the programme's on to get money from people who are full.
But I noticed the money's gone down a lot now. It's £40 and £60. It used to be a lot more than that.
I know,
must be losing viewers.
It was called cutting the cloth to suit the...
Exactly, Gerry. Right?
Thank you very much.
Thanks for taking my call. Say hello to Sean and the girls.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye, Gerry.
Bye. See the way people ruin it at the end by asking about you? Yeah. I hate that. No, I really do. Will you ask them to stop that, would you? Because I'd be okay until they do that. And then I hate them then. You know, you just automatically
Why don't
hate
they
them.
bring back Sunday night at the London Palladium?
Because its day is
this
gone.
thing about it. Why don't they do it?
Well, they're bringing back magicians. They're bringing back a magic show. Remember Paul Daniels used to do that?
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
Well, Lenny Henry's going to do it.
Oh, he is not. I don't like. You like Lenny Henry?
You can't say you don't like. I like Lenny
you
Henry.
like
yeah.
Lenny Henry?
I like Lenny Henry.
Yes, I know.
I do actually, because there's more to Lenny Henry than meets the eye.
I know that, but I've never met
He
him.
played Othello recently.
I know all that. But
You do not.
I want Jimmy Tarbuck, bro.
Jimmy Tarbuck.
Aye. Sunday at the London Palladium with Jimmy
Right,
Tarbuck.
all right.
It's just for the man. You can't be a guitar strummer, cussing that shovel in your hand. Took my paycheck to a pawn shop, bought a silver tone guitar, wrote a song about a beer joint, went and played at any bar. It's hard as hell out on this highway, but I'm still addicted to the show. Out, it keeps me gypsy drifting down the road. Buses, trucks, and lit up stages, angel faces with no saving graces, stand and sing and wave their flames. It's hot as hell out on this highway, but I'm still addicted to the show. And that crazy crowd calls out, gypsy drifting down the road. I go on when I'm too tired to sleep, and I go on sing when I can't speak. I go on and on and on and on. It's hard as hell out on this highway, but I'm still addicted to the show. When that crazy crowd calls out, it keeps me gypsy drifting down the road. And when that crazy crowd calls out, it keeps me
That's another track from American Ride by Toby Keith. That really is an exceptional album. That's a track called Gypsy Drifting. Some messages here. Gentleman Jonathan Sims, he says, he said we have now revisited the old slogan I saw on a wall in Belfast a few years ago. Trouts will be shoot. Shoot all trouts. And Jonathan also says our office cleaner was a lovely old lady, but she had a habit of running around like a whirling dervish, bleaching everything. You had to keep moving or else you'd be bleached. And the place smelt like Geordie's Long Johns. How does he know what Geordie's Long Johns sound like? Watch yourself. Or smell like, should I say. One day I came back to my desk from making a coffee and my computer was completely gone. It wouldn't do anything, so eventually I had to call out an engineer at about 50 quid an hour. It turned out that the cleaning lady had pulled out my keyboard lead while she was hoovering onto the desk. Talk about feeling like a tube. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should have known that, for God's sake. By any chance, great segue that, was the solitary eyebrow involved in that at all? There's a man accusing you of being involved in my segues.
No.
Can't have that, no. Please play George Jones singing Choices. It sounds a bit like the last song, only not so contrived and rock and country. Oh. Gentlemen, Gerry, I'm taking a bite to eat here, and I've just boiled an egg, and when I took the shell off it and cut it open, I discovered that the yolk inside is completely white. Have you or any of the listeners ever heard of this? Well, that's no yolk.
Oh, no, don't, please. We'll go back to talking.
So, says Paul, the electricity grid is all Ireland. Apparently the politicians are panicking because the electricity grid is all Ireland. It was hilarious this morning, the gentleman said. I missed that, I have to say, but I know what they're going to say before they say it, so I don't have to listen to anything. I know what's going to happen. The border is contracting too. The white line in the middle of the road coming from Dundalk is 20 metres closer to Fork Hill than this time last year. I checked it out. It's hilarious. What's wrong with these people? People are crazy, you know, especially when they start talking about borders and stuff. They seem to take on this kind of insane cloak and put it over their heads. It makes them not hear anything. Is there someone on the line here?
Yes, Bernie.
Bernie. Mm-hmm. Hello, Bernie.
Oh, hello, Gerry. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Listen, I wonder, could you help me?
Yes, I will if I can.
I was going through an old box of photographs the other day.
Yes.
And I found a leaflet. It's so old it had no 504 tag on it.
0504, yes.
And it was by people who called themselves Photo Art.
Photo Art.
And they offered to repair old photographs or repair damaged photographs. Yeah. Now, I have a photograph of my graduation, which was just a few years ago. I did my degree as a mature student.
Good girl, yeah.
And there's slight damage to it, but I would love to frame it and hang it up beside my son's graduation photograph.
Okay, you
and my daughter's due to graduate in a few months' time as well, so I'd like to have the 3 photographs.
How do you repair a photograph, though?
I don't know how they do it, but on this leaflet they claim to be able to do marvellous miracles altogether.
I mean, have you a bit of it missing or something?
It's just on the nose, a tiny little bit of it has been torn.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm told apparently that can be done by way of a computer.
Oh, God,
no. Is that kind of Photoshop, that kind of thing? Well, apparently you can do that. I've never done that, but it's a little, almost like a wee bit of animation thing, but not looking like animation. It can, it's almost Derry/Londonderry.
What's that, Derry/Londonderry? Yeah,
all right, then. Okay, anyone in Derry/Londonderry do that kind of thing? Stroke City? Anybody would do that? Anyone who knows where that could be done? Snappy snaps. Snappy snaps.
Snappy snaps.
If you can airbrush a photograph,
mm-hmm.
surely you can add something to it.
Well, I think that's what we were talking about.
Therefore, you could add, so it doesn't sound.
Find out if Snappy Snaps or somebody would do that.
Who, me?
I'm sorry to disturb you. Are you still getting an apartment for Janet?
But do you want me to ring Snappy Snaps?
No, not necessarily. Maybe perhaps Snappy Snaps would ring us, and you can't go running after these people. If they ring us and tell us they can do that, we'll announce it. Yeah, but Janet, you ring Snappy Snaps if you like.
She's.
Or what do you call them, Jessops or something?
Janet's engaged.
Is she? I thought she was married already. You have to be married before you leave your husband and get an apartment. Anyway, Jessops, Snappy Snaps, I bet you. And if anyone rings us to confirm that they do that, we'll let you know, okay?
Oh, that'd be super. Thank you very much.
There's a company in Railway Road in Coleraine.
What's the point of going to Coleraine if somebody does it here? For God's sake, there's a whole mountain to go over. That's a mountain to climb, Sean.
All right, then, well.
What's the company's name in Coleraine?
What's that there? Robbie
Burns.
Robbie McCaig.
All right, then.
Robbie McCaig Company.
So there's... Okay, well, that's
Railway Road in Coleraine.
Thanks. Well, that's the place where people can go in Coleraine, but meanwhile, that's...
Colerane's only a toot down the road.
What's the point in going to Coleraine if you can go to Snappy Snaps or Jessup's?
All right, then. But
that's all I'm saying. Do you have no sense? I wouldn't let him get an apartment for you, Janet. There's no... Whatever it is. Anyway, okay, have a wee listen. Look, and somebody will tell us before 12 o'clock, and then you can toot out and get that done.
That
all right,
would be
love.
super. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Bye. And by the way, Philomena, who's looking for a wheelchair, we've had a number of offers, and as far as I can tell, hardly any of them are asking for any money.
Yes.
She's willing to pay, but it just seems a shame in
One
this
call
day
that
and
I
age.
got absolutely free.
There you are. Seems a shame in this day and age that a person should have to pay for something as essential as that. We see all the tubes walking around with nothing wrong with them.
Certainly. Much do you want? Do you take those two? Oh, that's all right.
Sorry, what's this?
Janet asked me for some spare paper.
Really?
Yes.
Nobody's ever asked me for spare paper. That's a new
See?
one on me. Yeah. During the early 80s, somebody painted a word beginning with F, Maggie Thatcher, on a wall in Coal Island. Obviously, some of the bright sparks realised that the C had been left out, so they drew an arrow leading from a letter C. So it...
Dear goodness. That's shocking.
That's funny. Because the guy showed me how it was done. That's funny. That's funny. Sometimes you get funny things in this programme. Never anything that you say, but sometimes things come in. That are funny. There are people out there. It gives me heart. Know that they're not all ringing Hugo. There are people out there with brains. It's excellent, isn't it? I'm going to play... Oh, yes. We had a band on the programme which you knew nothing about on Friday, a band called Southern. And incidentally, Stephen Hall will be on this programme on Friday with his band for the first time ever on the radio with a band. And we had a little band who were exceptional, I thought, last week called Southern. And this is a track from them. Only 18 and 19 years old. I felt like Methuselah talking to them.
can't believe it. Where's he supposed to be? His feelings are sold out. A musketeer now 3. Pocket to pocket, his money down the drain, his drink to drinking. Oh, what a crying shame. 2 doors down, he's waiting on the others. 2 doors down, he's waiting on the brother. 2 doors down, he's waiting on the others. 2 doors down, he's waiting on a brother.
Oh, that's over. Sorry, I thought that was a DJ trap. More about the Pope's visit. A lady says, Michelle writes to me on a regular basis. She said, I thought it was very showbiz-like, she said. And I thought so too. Did you see the merchandising thing? Did you see that?
No.
There's a website.
I didn't.
You could see all the Pope's merchandise. You could buy a T-shirt like for a tenner. And they suggested you hold it up to be blessed. You know what I mean? There were 4 big shiny helicopters waiting at Wimbledon. I was expecting Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries to play as they all flew off. By the way, yes, I was up at 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. There was a split screen, a bit like Woodstock, showing Wimbledon on the left and Birmingham on the right. I thought the bodyguards were a bit too officious for my liking. One looked like Terry Tibbs from Phone Jacker. Yes, the Pope needs security, but despite all the bulletproof glass and the bodyguards, never once did I see him put on his seatbelt. Have they learnt nothing from Princess Diana? I'm telling you. Pope doesn't need a seatbelt. Because what's the point of the Pope having a seatbelt? You know, can you imagine God saying, sorry, no seatbelt, sorry, I don't care who you are. That's it. Great show yesterday, kid. A great show which made a lasting impression on Tommy my cat. After the great show, Tommy gathered me, Henry the Hoover, and Wilbur the Budgie into the living room and addressed us thus. Friends, Romans and Catholics, said Tommy. Dear darling friends, I've called you here today to inform you that I've applied for the job as runner on the Gerry Anderson show. Now that Christine Bleakley has been... I've been watching Christine.
There's a good one. Yeah.
I think...
You think what?
I think the programme is doomed. They look scared.
Oh, don't say that.
I think it's doomed, yeah. Dear darling friends, I've called you here. I've applied for the job of runner on the Gerry Anderson show. Henry the Hoover switched himself on and ran round in circles with his flexible hose twisting and swaying like a hungry python. It was left to me to bring a little sanity to the proceedings. YouTube! I yelled. See what I did there? YouTube?
Yeah.
Get that? Yeah. You poor, deluded, stupid, thick, ugly, humpbacked, vile-featured Hoover. I will now take questions from the floor, said Tommy. I raised my leg and yelled, Ken Reid from UTV. Could you please tell our viewers just what you would run for and if you were appointed runner on the Gerry Anderson show? Thank you, Ken, said Tommy. I'm glad you asked that question. I'd run upstairs for records. I'd run to the shop for Mr. Coyle's hot dogs. I'd run to buy tights for Emma and Janet. I would run to put on bets for Ken, Screwdriver Doherty. And last of all, I'd run outside to tell the naughty wind not to ruffle Mr. Anderson's lovely hair. Today! Cried Henry the Hoover. You go for it, kid. Sorry, Toady.
Close.
Tight! Toady, yelled Henry the Hoover. You go for it, kid, squeaked Tommy. Wilbur the Budgie. Now hold on there, I roared. Aren't you forgetting something? It's true, said Tommy. I did not pass the 11 plus, but I see no reason why that small omission should hinder me from being a runner at Radio 4. After all, John Humphrey said on TV last night that he knew many working-class children who were smarter than middle-class thick people, but the middle-class thick people got on better. Why is that? It's because their parents give them books, that's why. The reason why you will not get a job as a runner on Radio 4 is for some simple reason. You're a cat! A feline, a muggy, a pussy, a tabby, a muglapper. Who in the right mind would give a job to a cat, especially a job in the BBC, full of qualified people who don't do anything? Gerry Anderson would, roared Tommy. I've been in communication with Herr Anderson, and he assures me the job is mine if I do well at the interview. What a sad crowd gathered at the bus station to see Tommy off. He was wrapped in the skin of a yak to withstand the cold of Stroke City, Ulster's Alaska. We're very far north here, you know. Gets very nippy around the fundamentals. Wilbur the Budgie tried to be chipper, but his feathers hung sadly around his knees. Henry the Hoover was inconsolable. The cold made his you know. Never have I seen so many tears from an inanimate object. Henry cried like a baby and wrapped his flexible hose round himself for solace and comfort, even though it was a little shorter than it would have been earlier. As the bus pulled away, Tommy leaned out the window and sang, "Think of me when you're lonely, think of me when you're blue, think of me when I'm far away, and I'll be thinking of you." The empty chair. Oh, dear God, the empty chair at the dinner table. Hark! The knock on the door in the night. I glanced bleary-eyed at my bedside sundial. I couldn't see it because it was dark. 1 o'clock, I guessed. Who could be knocking at my door at this time? It was little Tommy. The stupid little cat had made a Horlicks of the interview. Tommy got on great with Sean, Gerry and the girls, but had greatly displeased the undertone. How many times had I warned Tommy? How many times had I said, "Don't poo in the Hucklebuck shoes"? Tommy is now wondering if Frank Mitchell is taking on staff to show the listeners how to parcel a parcel at Christmas. Tommy a runner? More like a scunner to me.
Oh, Super Bowl, I'm trying to get to you, show you how I love, how I'm hurting if I'm throwing you too hard. Now you're all in the football. When we were young, I used to play with you for hours in the sun, and I control your superpowers, yeah, you were always on my mind, and you stay in my pocket all the time. You say you dream of things you never liked before. Could I be in your dreams? They're sleeping on the floor. Please hurry, babe, I can't wait till you're in us. I'm waiting for your Super Bowl. Now, little one, do you remember how I felt to be alone? Before you ever had a phone to call your own. You know, this time it's been a buzz like a song. Say it heavy on my heart, oh, Super Bowl. I'll on your way across America. Come on home. Somebody's gonna lead you the wrong way. I'll give you anything. Just come and stay with me. Cook for you every day and wipe your tears away. Under the stars in my car, we can make it out. Through quiet night, down the streets that you dream about. Don't bounce away, won't you stay? We can cry forever. I'm waiting for your Super Bowl. I'm waiting for your Super Bowl. I'm waiting for your Super Bowl. I'm waiting for your Super Bowl.
That's a band called Magic Kids. That's a song called Super Bowl. The Magic Kids obviously making a bid for that elusive Beach Boys money. It's now, go on, give it time check. You know you deserve it. You deserve it, go on.
Did you tour with the Beach Boys?
What?
Did you tour with the Beach Boys?
Oh, never, no. I toured with different people, never with the Beach Boys. The one I enjoyed most was, remember, I told you about touring with the Dubliners.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the best fun ever.
Well, did you tour with any of the English big groups?
Oh, not
as they were
toured,
then?
but I played with lots of people, but I never toured with them, a whole tour, because that's a kind of a menial job.
Oh, is it?
You're very much second banana.
Yeah.
But every once in a while you would be on the same bill as like people like the Kinks. I remember playing with Frank Zappa and people like that.
What were the Kinks like?
The Kinks were very nice.
Nice
actually.
people?
Yeah. They were actually. I liked them. We met them once in Dundalk, I think it was, and we were going to rehearse one afternoon. Sometimes you would do that if you're hanging in the area. You'd ring up the people and say, "Listen, do you mind if I go into this ballroom a little earlier? We'll do a little rehearsal here." So they usually said yes. So we knew the person quite well, so we just arrived up and we heard the sound. And we looked in and there were the Kinks rehearsing. And they're rehearsing, "So tired, tired of waiting for you. So," have you got the drift of it?
I know the song. Yeah.
And they were very nice. They chatted away. And a couple of, I think I told the story before, didn't I?
No, I never heard this before.
A number of mongrels. No, sorry. Not
mongrels?
Street urchins. A number of Dundalk urchins had gathered round the door. The word spread around the town. The Kinks were rehearsing, you see. And it was a very funny moment, I thought. And Ray Davis and those guys were coming out, and then the door opened, and the car arrived up. It's all the urchins all swarmed around. And the door opened, and they made a bit of a dash for it. And all the urchins were shouting, "Schnapps! Schnapps! Have you any schnapps? Have you any schnapps? Schnapps! Schnapps!" They meant, of course, the photographs, the handout photographs. Yeah. And Ray Davis turned around and said, "She's blimey, she's locked me back in Germany."
And who were of all the guys or the groups that you toured with, who would the one you disliked the most?
Well, that came later. The person I hated most of all was two people. Terry, what do you call him? Stewart, what do you call your man? Dave Stewart of the Eurythmics,
right.
And Terry Hall out of the Specials. Two of the most hateful people in the world. The two of them made a little song together, and if I had a gun, I'd have shot them, to be honest with you. No, they were so hateful. And every time I look at them, I just go, "Oh my God, how hateful they are."
There's a call.
Lost a female boxer brown. What's a boxer brown?
A boxer brown. It's a brown-coloured boxer, I would imagine. Was it not?
Okay. Lost a female boxer brown with a white patch, a dog wearing a red collar, missing from the Lifford area of County Donegal over a week ago. A child's pet contact the show. A couple of other things to mention before. I saw on the BBC Radio Ulster website that Hugo is available for download for the sat-nav. Why don't you people do that? I would definitely download it, says Fiona. She lives in the Netherlands. I may not actually get anywhere, but I'd enjoy the trip. No. They don't want us. They don't want us. I've thought of a great topic for your next TV show. Assuming the BBC are foolish enough to give you... Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that again? We are the biggest archery club in GB and Ireland. With over 400 shooting, we shoot all types of rounds and all types of bows. Last weekend, we were in the Castlewelling Forest. I wouldn't mind that.
No.
What they do is they shoot 3Ds, lions and bears.
No.
See, in the forest, they have a way of putting up 3D lions and bears, and you shoot them with
That'd
their...
be so cruel, even though it's only...
They're 3D.
I know, even though it'd be horrible. Imagine you lining up... not at all, I wouldn't...
But you never play bows and arrows in your wee?
Yes.
Did you dislike it?
But it didn't shoot lions or bears. It shot the boy next door.
That's all right.
You know what I mean?
He wasn't going anywhere.
No.
You said hanging in the area when you were talking about Dundalk. Is this Dundalk in Canada or America, or have you forgotten where you are? You see, they're quick. They're quick, aren't they? They're very
Did you
quick.
ever watch 3D TV?
Yes. Oh, TV? Oh, yes, I did.
TV.
Oh, you couldn't have it about you.
No, I think I'm very...
I was sitting in the house with a big pair of glasses.
Very
I mean, you took them off, you'd bump into the wall and you're going to the toilet.
I don't like it at all.
I'm running another big night in Ballynahinch this Saturday night, said Declan Savage. I was wondering if you'd please let the listeners know about it. It's called Pure Savage Access All Areas in Cloisters and Ballynahinch. This Saturday night. Doors open at 8. £3 before 10 o'clock, a fiver after. Live performances from some of Northern Ireland's finest bands. The Vals, excellent. More Than Conquerors, excellent. John Darcy and the Great Bunch of Lads, exceptional. Niamh O'Hagan and Lego Head DJs. Upstairs, it's been hijacked by sonic simulations with DJ sets from Gump, Neil Kennedy and Lifeboy DJs. There we are. Savage Music Productions in Cloisters and Ballynahinch on Saturday night. A night not to be missed. I'm really
Sandra.
cooking today.
Sandra.
And also, would you please give my wee music group Boogie Bugs a mention? It's a group for children. It's a group for children up to the age of 5 in the Playhouse in Gerry Stroke Londonderry on Tuesdays at 4 o'clock and Wednesdays at 11 a.m. We've all their favourite songs plus some original kids songs I write, and lots of shakers, bells, dancing, singing and bubbling. We are currently learning a song all about Halloween in Gerry Stroke Londonderry that I wrote. It's called Spooky Wookie Time. Spooky Wookie Time, Spooky Wookie. I'll send you a copy next week. That's from Bernie Doherty. I'd love a copy of that. Also, just to say before we go...
Sandra.
Will you stop a minute? Can't you hear I'm talking here? I'm talking here.
But will you not forget about Sandra?
I won't forget about Sandra. What about those nice people from Macmillan?
You have Sandra.
Ask them to come in.
But what about Sandra?
I'll talk to Sandra. Ask them to come in the meantime.
Okay.
And there's...
Emma's going for them now. Look, there she goes.
Oh, let's go, Emma, going for it.
What about Sandra?
Sorry, I'm still watching Emma. Right. This Saturday night in the Millennium Forum is a very special show, and it's not coming to Belfast for some strange reason. It's been in a number of places. It's a reenactment of the Last Waltz. Do you remember they did a thing like that in a couple of venues in Belfast recently? Well, this is apparently a very professional setup, and it's a reenactment of the movie, a concert, The Last Waltz, and that's in the Millennium Forum this Saturday night, Derry, Stoke, and Londonderry. But I'm not sure if they're going to be anywhere else, or maybe Letterkenny or somewhere. I'm not quite sure. Only the Millennium Forum, that's it. So I'll be talking to one of the people, guys out of that tomorrow morning. So, and get you know about that. Dear Papa Chin.
Oh, Sandra.
In my professional capacity, I'm not reading that anyway. No, hello, Sandra.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Gerry. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Hi, Gerry. I want to know, have you ever heard of a song called The Party Doll?
The Party Doll?
Yes, it was sang by Brian Ferry.
Brian Ferry?
Yes.
I don't know if I know that or not.
No, it was either Brian Ferry or Roxy Music. I'm not sure. I'm searching for it and I can't get it anywhere, and I was wondering if you would know or put it out for anybody that would have it.
The Party Doll by Brian Ferry?
Yes.
All right, then I'll put that out. Anyone who's got that, give us a ring here at 08459 555 678.
Okay. Oh, here, and Gerry, just before I nip off, the new DVD, Live and Lethal. Have you ever heard of that?
Live and Lethal?
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I have or not.
By John McBlain. I was wondering if anybody knows where I can get the copy of one of those as well.
John McBlain? All right, then, okay. Maybe John would let us know where I could get that. I bet you there might be the odd swear word on that.
There just might be.
All right, love, we'll try and get that for you, okay?
All right. Thank you very much, Gerry.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, bye. Right, nice people from Macmillan's Cancer Supporter here. Hello? Hello. Oh, is that Meg? Hold on a minute. Ken, which one of those? Is that one the blue one there? Talk into the blue one if you would. What's your name? Melissa. Can I hear? Is that a wee bit closer? It's not working, Ken. Oh, hold on a minute. Let me fix these things. Ken, will you fix that? It's probably this here. Say hello.
Hello.
Oh, that's better. Well done, Ken. Tell me about Macmillan. This time of the year, you always come in, but it's always a gentleman.
Yes, that's my manager, Paul Sweeney.
Yes.
He's actually moved on. He's been promoted to the head of regional fundraising for Scotland and Northern
I'm
Ireland.
not surprised because he was great. He was really active, wasn't he?
And he still is very much in the local area. He's a Derry man, so...
And what's your name?
Heart's here. Maria.
And what's your...
Melissa.
Melissa, nice to meet you.
Thank
You're
you.
lovely.
Nice to meet you.
Two of you are well turned out. Well, tell me what's going on.
Basically, our world's biggest coffee morning is happening this Friday on the 24th, and we're here just to if we can, recruit people to do a coffee morning for us.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be on the 24th. They can sign up and do it any time throughout the year. It's a brilliant event. It's really easy. You get your friends, colleagues, family together, have a cup of tea, throw a few quid in a box for Macmillan, and it'll make a huge difference for us.
Well, they can do that on their own. I mean, do they have to contact you in any way?
They can, yes. They can get a wee pack from us. They can call our free phone number on 0845 602 1246. Or if they have internet connection, they can log on to www.macmillan.org.uk/coffee.
Hold on, it's a wee bit quick. .org.uk
/coffee.
All right then. So if they contact you, they get a wee pack. So whatever, they know exactly what they're supposed to do, and they don't have to do this on Friday. They could do it any time.
Yeah.
And hopefully send you the proceeds and not drink it.
Yes, that's the idea.
Well, is fundraising difficult now? I suppose it is with the economic climate. It's not as easy as it used to be.
It is. Saying that, in last year in Northern Ireland, Macmillan had its best year so far. We raised over $1.5 million for local cancer patients, and this year we seem to be on course to raise the same again and maybe a bit more. Our supporters are extremely loyal to Macmillan, and even though a lot of events may, be on a smaller scale, people do try and make it up to us. In a way, they put a target on how much they want to raise, and then they really go for it and do it throughout the year. Maybe not as one event. They have 3 or 4 instead of the one big event that they normally do.
Okay. Well, it's a great organisation. I hear nothing but good things about it. There's a cake. there.
Yes, we brought you some buns.
How come they made it in here?
I know all the other staff were asking about them. Actually,
I'm very surprised. Actually, something that's edible has actually made it into the studio and has not been purloined, stolen, and otherwise kidnapped by everyone outside. Yeah. And what about the other lady with you? What's your name again?
Melissa.
Well, what's your role, Melissa?
I'm a volunteer for Macmillan.
Okay. Well, we'll hope you all have a very successful campaign. Coffee mornings. But are you having one yourself on Friday? Or is there any central event?
Yeah, there are actually lots of local coffee mornings. Charles & Co are actually having one this whole week.
That's here in Derry, Stoke London.
Yep.
Where is that?
That's just behind Foyleside.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the street name is.
Yeah.
The Leprechaun Bakery, which supplied these lovely buns for us, they have one every year for
All
us. We have the Sandwich Company, which has 7 outlets across the northwest.
Well done.
There's one at Starbucks, McGee Campus, Seagate and McCambridge Duffy are also holding one. So we've loads going on in the local area. And the message is, if you can't hold one of your own, then please attend one of ours.
Okay. What kind of volunteer work do you do? Come on.
Melissa's just the new volunteer for us. So she really is supporting me and all
I
of
go
the
with her,
fundraising.
but everything she does, I do.
No matter what you do, whatever she does, you do.
I go, I help her.
There'll come a time you'll be able to do things yourself.
She will.
Hopefully.
In the very near future.
Let me just give the people that number again. It's 0845 602 1246 if you want to pack. And www.macmillan, what is that again?
.org.uk/coffee.
Okay, you're doing a wonderful job, and thank you all very much. That's us finished. We'll be back tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.